Alright, today guys, I'm going to go over a couple of different live baits that there is out there that you can use. So, I only have a few with me right now. I only have a few out on the table for us. There's more, but I just don't have them right now, and I didn't catch any today also. So, yeah. 3 different kinds of live bait you can use here, or fresh bait as you would call it. So, what we got here is some shad. This one right here. It's a smaller one. What I do with this one, I would just put him on the hook straight by itself, just like that. Here we got a bigger shad right here, and with him I would like cut him into pieces, like right here, another piece right here. But him you can cut into pieces and use, like, get 2-3 pieces of bait out of him, and these work really great for catfish, especially blue cats. Blue cats love shad. That is one of their favorites, is shad. As you see, they're a real shiny color. Bass also hit on them. I've caught striped bass on them before, so yeah, they work good for that. Alright, our next one is going to be a carp. This guy here, this is just a carp. They work really good. As you see, he's pretty big and pretty good sized guy. So what we're going to do with him, he works really great for catfish bait. I've put him out on, cut him into fillets like I was actually going to eat him, and filleted him and left this side of the skin on him, just left his skin over here, and put him out on jug lines. And I've caught in blue cats on them. You can put them on a hook, cut the fillet pieces down pretty kind of small, and you put them on a hook like that. That works too. These are really good for catfish. All kind of catfish work really good. Alright, now you got your most common, a minnow. Alright, and these guys you can go buy at your local bait shop. You can set up minnow traps for them at lakes and ponds, creeks, streams, stuff like that. But the easiest way is go to your local bait shop and buy you some. These guys work really great for just about anything. They're great for crappie. I use minnows, live minnows, for crappie all the time. That's one of my favorite things to use minnows for, is for crappie. But I know people that use, you can catch crappie on them, you can catch bass on them, you can catch catfish on them. It's just a really nice, versatile live bait you can get at the local bait shops. Alright, and your next one here is some sunfish. This is a little one. I have some bigger ones. They're just not, they just don't look as pretty because they've been frozen. This one was in the freezer, so, but these are some different size ones. These work really good. Size ones like this work really great for cut bait and everything, and which works really great for catfish. So you just cut him up and there you go, you got some cut bait. These two guys right here, these little sunfish like this, I just throw them straight on the pole, and honestly, these little guys work great for bass love sunfish. Bass love them, catfish like them. They're actually really good to put on lines because you can go out and catch these, and they're pretty easy to keep alive. So you can go out the next day and set lines with those live, and they'll stay alive for a little bit on the hook also. So these are pretty awesome guys to catch. They're not that hard to catch. They're pretty much everywhere. Honestly, it's probably some of the first fish you ever caught type ones. So yeah, what I like to do is I like to take the kids fishing and set them up with a bobber and a worm on it and just let them catch them all day long, and I got plenty of bait after that. So, but there is still some other fresh live bait you can use, like night crawlers or red worms. Them are really good. You can get those at any local, I know Walmart sells them. I know all bait shops have them. So those work really good. I like worms too because you can catch just about anything on a worm. So I always make sure I try to keep a worm pole with me, just because you never know what you're going to get on a worm. Like, worms are very versatile. They're really good. They're not that expensive either. Another thing, another live bait, another cut bait you can use also for catfish is going to be freshwater drum. They like those. They're really good bait. And what a lot of people don't know about freshwater drum, they're actually really good to eat. They taste like crappie because they're a white fish like crappie are. So fry them up and they taste great. So let's see. we got any worms in the worm bed, I can show y'all. Let's see if we got any worms. Alright guys, here you go. I found you a worm. As you see there guys, we got a little worm right there. Yeah, there he goes. He's starting to move now. Either this is a little red worm or a night crawler. I can't tell right now because he's kind of small. He's too little for me to be able to actually tell which kind he is. But as you see, I got a worm bed in my out here to grow my own night crawlers and stuff. I just redid it, so I really don't have any. All I got is these little guys. I don't know. Texas heat, I think, killed them all once it got hot. I didn't get them in to the fridge soon enough to keep them going. As you see, I got these little guys everywhere. But yeah, it's just a little red worm or a little baby night crawler, one of the two. Can't really tell with it. He's too little, but yeah, that's about. There we go. We got us a good one there. That looks like gonna be maybe a baby night crawler right there. So, but we're gonna get this thing stocked back up with worms pretty soon. Go to our local bait shop and buy some more worms and get that worm farm going back up and get it going again and start making our own worms to fish with. Alright guys, so I showed y'all the different kinds of bait fish there is. So now I'm going to go over how to store these if you don't plan on using them before you go fishing, or if you just catch too many and you don't end up using them all. I like to actually personally just go out and bait fish some days. I just take the casting net out. A lot of days I do that when I ain't got that much time before work, or I got other things planned and I just want to get out by the water for a couple hours. I'll just take out the casting net and go catch some bait. So today, that's what we did. As you've seen, I had all the bait laid up on the table a while ago. So now I'm going to show you what to do and how to store that. What I do is take my shad, take a Ziploc bag right here, and I'm going to put these shad in this Ziploc bag. Alright, so I'm going to put these shad in here. 4, 6. Alright, so I put all my shad in a Ziploc bag. Also, what I like to do, the reason I like to freeze these guys and keep them is because I like to go fishing during the winter a lot, and our local bait shop is closed through certain months of the winter. They shut down in like December, I think, or November, and they don't open back up until February. So like, I like to keep these guys on hand, especially when the shad get out into deeper water and they're not as close and I can't get to them with the casting net. These come in great handy for when I want to go fishing. I don't want to go to the bait shop or the bait shop's out of shad. This is great for me because the bait shop's not open. I can just go to my fridge and pull out shad. So what I do is, you can put however many you want in a bag. I put 20 in this bag. I usually do about 20 to 12. That way I don't waste my shad too much. So I always write on my bag how many I have in there. That way I don't end up wasting them. And then I'll also write on there, because as you've seen a while ago, I had some different size ones. So I'm just going to put an H, because these will go straight on the hook by themselves. They don't need anything else done to them. They'll go straight on that hook. And after I put them in the bag, Ziploc bag, what I do is put a little bit of water in there, and that helps them stay fresher also, I feel like it does, compared to the ones I've done without water and water. I feel like the shad with the water are fresher. But with freezing them with the water, you have to make sure when you get ready to use them, you unthaw it completely, because if you don't, all the shiny scales on them, which draw the fish to them, will come off, and I try to keep that on there as much as possible. And what I do to defrost them is, that day that I get ready to leave, I'll go throw them in the zinc, run hot water over it, and as I run hot water over it and the ice starts melting, I like to dump the excess water out, because if you leave the excess water in there, they get real soggy and they come off your hook so easily. Like, they don't like to stay on the hook as well. Like, sometimes they'll even come off during the cast. So I like to make sure I drain the water out before I go and as they defrost, because if not, your shad are not going to stay on your hook. Also, you can do this with any of your fresh bait that you catch. If you want to freeze it and not use it right then, you want to use it at a later date. Also, if you catch them earlier in the day, right before you go fishing, a good way to keep them fresh is catch an ice chest and throw some ice in there, and then just throw the shad on top of that as I catch them. That way they stay fresh, and then I can go out later on in the day and use them, and there you go. You still got some fresh shad, fresh bait, everything like that. Dead minnows work great even for catfish bait. Catfish will still bite on them, eat them. It's just like using any other dead fish for bait that are cut bait. Catfish will still hit on them. So I just freeze them the same way. I do pretty much all my bait the same way. And as you see here, here's some old minnows that I had that were dead. And I just took them and froze them. And as you see, once they unthaw, they look like a regular old minnow. Can't even, they look like they haven't even been in the freezer that long. And shoot, these guys have been in the freezer for like a couple months now. So, but I store all my fresh bait that I want to keep that I don't use that day or later on down the road when I know the bait shops won't be open and everything. So I hope this video over live bait and how to keep it and the different kinds out there and everything is really helpful to y'all. And I don't know, I personally I like live bait and fresh bait better because I tend to have a better luck on it. That's all I got for today, so stay tuned, check out the videos to come. I hope y'all liking them now. Make sure y'all subscribe, like the videos. Check back later this week and see what other kind of fun we get into. See y'all later.